So in this video we're going to be checking out this microphone here, the DJI Mic 2, which is a mini wireless prosumer microphone from DJI. And in this video we're going to be checking out its special features, testing out the audio quality. To do that I've come to this stormy beach in Cornwall. There's a lot of wind. So for the last 2 months I've been using the DJI Mic 2 as my go-to microphone. I filmed the last couple of videos using it, and before getting this mic I was using the Rode Wireless Go. I had no issues with that microphone, but I was quite keen to get into DJI's ecosystem. And there's one video I filmed about a month ago where me and my brother tried surströmming, that stinky Swedish fish. And in that video I required 2 microphones because me and my brother were going to be mic'd up. And at that time the Rode mic that I was using, there was only one microphone, so I decided to take the plunge and invest in this microphone here, the DJI Mic 2. It's going to focus. And as you can see, I paid £200 for it, used from a secondhand shop called CEX, which we have in the UK. I had some games that I traded in and I ended up buying this with the voucher. This was the Mic 2 combo, which came with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver and a charging case, all for £200 used, which was a pretty good deal because I traded in some Nintendo Switch games and got a lot of money off. Here we go. So this is what was in the box. It almost looks weather resistant, which is nice to see. And inside it came with this, which almost looks like an AirPods case. Very nice, made out of metal. And it functions very much like AirPods. As you can see, I'm wearing one of the mics now and the receiver is on my camera, so it's not in here. There are 4 LEDs at the bottom of the case to indicate how much charge the case has left. This one's only got 1, so I do need to charge it quite soon. And turning it around to the back, there is a USB-C port, so you can charge the case using USB-C, which is nice to see. And when the transmitters and receivers are inside this case, it charges them as expected. There's little metal contacts at the bottom and at the bottom of here, so yeah, it charges them while they're in the case. The remaining accessories in the bag are 2 mini dead cat wind covers, as well as a mini aux cable to connect the receiver to the camera, and a mini USB-C cable to charge the case. So I'm going to start off by taking a look at the transmitter. It comes in 2 colours. There's a white version and then there's this version which is black with a clear front case, which looks pretty cool. In terms of mounting options, it has a magnet as well as a clip, so you can either clip it to your clothes or use this magnet to sort of fasten it how I have now. So in my opinion, I actually prefer to mount it using the magnet rather than the clip, because the magnet gives you more flexibility of where you mount it rather than just clipping it to your collar. But you need to be a bit careful. It works best with like thin fabrics like t-shirts. So last week I was doing a bit of filming and using this microphone with the magnet, and I was wearing a jumper that was a little bit thicker than the one I'm wearing now, jumping around on the rocks trying to get some action shots. And I jumped off of a rock and the transmitter ended up falling off my jumper into the sea, never to be seen again. So I ended up having to go on Amazon and buying a spare transmitter. So just a word of warning when using this microphone, especially with the magnet, make sure the connection is strong enough because it can just fall off and you don't want it to fall into the sea. In terms of features, this microphone has 6 hours of inbuilt battery life, as well as 8 gigabytes of internal storage, so you can record internally, as well as over Bluetooth or USB-C. Whoa, just a quick cheeky interruption. If you're enjoying, be sure to drop us a like and consider subscribing. We've just hit 12,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So some other cool features of this microphone is that it has 32-bit float. What that means is it's a feature that if the audio is too loud or you've got your gain too high and there's a lot of clipping in your audio, you can save that audio in post by sort of reducing the gain, and it'll essentially restore the detail into the sound. So this feature may be a video saver, so it's always nice to have, and I keep it on. Now there's a number of different ways you can record audio using this microphone. The most obvious way is the way I'm recording now with the transmitter and receiver connected to my mirrorless camera, but you can also record internally to the transmitter. This thing has 8 gigabytes of internal storage. Another way to record is using Bluetooth, so you can connect the transmitter directly via Bluetooth to something like an iPhone. So on the iPhone you do have to download a third-party app like Blackmagic Camera to record audio from this transmitter, but it does work pretty well. Here's a test. So I've connected this mic to my iPhone using Bluetooth, and I'm using the Blackmagic recording app to record the audio because you can't actually record it directly through the iPhone's camera app, unfortunately. In my opinion, when connected over Bluetooth, it doesn't sound quite as good, but you can be the judge of that. So taking a closer look around the transmitter, at the top we've got a grilled section. This is where sound enters the microphone. And you'll also notice a hole. This is a 3.5mm, almost like headphone jack connection, and this is so you can connect an external lav mic. That hole is also what allows you to connect to the windshield. So here is a windshield. I'll show you how that works. So at the top of the transmitter, there's a little hole. This is a 3.5mm headphone jack for attaching an external lav mic if you want to. At the bottom of the windshield, there's a pin, and that basically just goes into there like so. And there it clips in. All done. Moving around to the side of the device, there is a pair button and a power button, as well as an LED light at the top. Now this light is important because it tells you what mode the device is in. For example, if this light is green, it means it's connected to the receiver. But if it's blue, it means it's in Bluetooth mode and it's either connected to a smartphone or a laptop. Now, something to bear in mind, if the light is a dark green, that means that active noise cancellation is switched off. But if you were to tap the power button, it would make the light a slightly lighter green, and that means that active noise cancellation is on. So it's very important to check using this light indicator whether or not you've got active noise cancellation on or off, because in my opinion, active noise cancellation in the wrong scenario can ruin your audio quality. Here's an example of what it sounds like. I've now got the microphone with the windshield on and active noise cancellation, so it should be removing a lot of the wind noise and wave sounds. The only problem with this is I think it sounds a little bit artificial, and I'm not a fan of it, but there's always the option to use this feature. As you can hear, it can make the audio sound a bit robotic and tinny, and it's something you don't want to have on by mistake. When I first got this mic, I accidentally left it on a couple of times and it did sort of ruin the audio. So yeah, be sure to check that subtle color difference to make sure if you've got active noise cancellation on or off. Moving over to the other side of the transmitter, there is a USB-C port. This allows you to charge the transmitter without the case if there's ever a situation where you need to do that. It also allows for data transfer, so if you internally record some audio files using the transmitter, you can then transfer it to a computer. And just below the USB-C port is a stop start record button. Now, one interesting feature about this transmitter, I don't know why I just zoomed the camera in, it actually comes with a haptic motor, so when you turn it on, I don't know if you can hear this. Yeah, it vibrates, which is interesting. Pretty cool, makes it feel more premium. Now let's take a look at the receiver. It's a light feeling device in the hand made out of plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. It has a shoe mount so you can connect it to the top of a camera like I've done here. On the front of the receiver is an OLED touchscreen, which is very nice to see. It displays the audio coming from the transmitters, but you can also swipe down and adjust a whole bunch of settings to do with the transmitter and the receivers. As well as the touchscreen, there's also this dial, which is very similar to the crown on an Apple Watch. When you turn it, it allows you to navigate through the menu, which is also very nice. I can imagine this is quite useful if you've got gloves on. Moving around to the side of the device is a power button, and then to the back is a USB-C charging port. Next to the charging port is a mini hot shoe, and this is where you attach that Lightning or USB-C adapter, which means you can connect the receiver to either a smartphone or a laptop. Around the other side is the audio out. This is how you connect it to your mirrorless camera. And then next to that is a headphone port so you can monitor the sound if you want to. Now, in terms of sound quality, I've been using this mic this whole video, so that's what it sounds like in a quiet room. And in my opinion, it definitely sounds good enough for YouTube. But I did go and test the mic in a more challenging environment. I went down to the beach earlier today where it was quite stormy and windy, and I wanted to test out how the mic performs in wind with loud crashing waves. So this is what the microphone sounds like with no windshield or active noise cancellation, and it's a pretty windy day, so does it sound okay? So we're now going to place the windshield onto the microphone. So this is what the microphone sounds like with the windshield on. Does it sound any better? Let me know in the comments section. And I wanted to test the active noise cancellation, so here that is. I've now got the microphone with the windshield on and active noise cancellation, so it should be removing a lot of the wind noise and wave sounds, but it does sound a bit robotic. That's the issue I have with the active noise cancellation. So I want to finish this video with some pros and some cons. Starting with the pros, I really like the DJI ecosystem. I think The fact that this has a charging case and it all connects seamlessly is really nice. It's almost a little bit Apple-like. And I know that these microphones work really well if you've got other DJI cameras. It's a nice ecosystem. The sound quality is good, the battery life's good, the flexibility in connecting it, so you can use it with Bluetooth or with the receiver or over USB. And you can even record audio internally, which is really nice. There's also 32-bit float, so if you find that an audio file has too much clipping, or if it's too quiet, you can rescue that audio clip. So overall, it is a solid microphone, but I have thought of some cons. The first negative is how easy it is to accidentally leave on active noise cancellation. They need to make the color of the indicator more obvious. The fact that it's dark green for off and light green for on, not obvious enough. My second negative is the magnet, and this is an unusual one because I do really like the magnetic connection. I do think it is a very versatile way to connect the microphone to your clothing, but you do need to be careful. It's not the strongest magnet in the world, and if you're wearing anything other than a t-shirt, you do need to be careful. And my final negative is the audio quality over Bluetooth. Now this may be down to user error. I might have a setting wrong or something, so let me know in the comments section if I'm doing something wrong. Whenever I connect a transmitter to my iPhone via Bluetooth, which means I could theoretically record YouTube videos just using my iPhone, but the audio quality just doesn't sound that good. So there you go, that's going to wrap up this video on the DJI Mic 2, which is the microphone that I currently use for my YouTube channel. So yeah, I have really enjoyed my time with this microphone over the last month or two of owning it. And if you have enjoyed, be sure to drop us a like and consider subscribing. We've just hit 12,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And I'll see everyone in my next video.